So I'm here with Brian Sagawa out at Sagawa's in Woodland, Washington, and we're going to be talking about wisteria. You know, Brian, there's a lot of, I think, trepidation with gardeners about wisteria, so let's see if we can clean some of that up. First of all, you guys have some lovely varieties here.
Yeah, well, first of all, there's Japanese varieties, Chinese varieties. It's always good to get grafted varieties.
And why is that?
Just so they can be pretty much true to the color, bloom they're consistently going to bloom every year with proper pruning. There really isn't any mysteries or what to do and what not to do. I think we always just recommend to all customers just some hard pruning, no later than, say, the end of June, July. Cut that all off.
Well, and also another reason for grafting is because they bloom sooner.
That's correct. You wouldn't have to wait for a long time. They're going to bloom. We have some that are 2-3 years old and they're already loaded with flower. Yes,
yeah, these are now. You mentioned pruning, which I know is a big confusion for a lot of people. These are covered in blooms.
They are. As you can see, you know, you're pretty much, it's like kind of like fruit trees or anything else, grapes or anything else. You're going to be doing, promoting spurwood or the flowering spurwood. Same thing on a wisteria. It's all that new growth, a 6-8 foot of viney, twiny growth that always comes up. Prune that off by the end of June, and you're going to always promote a lot of flowers on this.
So you're saying that if you want it to get larger and fill in like an arbor or something, you would of course let some of that go as you do it.
That's right.
But you're not going to get the blooms as much.
You wouldn't. You'd want to cover your area, such as whatever structure it can be. You know, we don't recommend to the house, always post and wire, or that way if you ever need to paint or work on your structures, you can have the vine away from whatever it may be. But very easy to grow, you know, they pretty much twine right in there. You don't need to really support them. They just kind of twine their way in.
On their own.
Yeah, they do.
Well, I've always had, you know, one of the other misnomers I've heard a lot is that wisteria gets so heavy that you have to have this huge, sturdy thing or else it'd break it apart.
Posts and wires, yes. They can get very, very heavy, yeah. Especially when you get all the leaf, the foliage fully leafed out, it can
be heavy,
just
very
like a grape.
heavy. And they do get some sizable trunks on them.
Oh, yeah.
Now, one of the things I noticed over here, Brian, is you've got some tree-formed ones as well. What's the difference with those?
Well, these would be, I like wisteria, but I don't want to train them to anything or attach them to anything. They're kind of like what you do like a tree rose or anything else. 5.5 foot up. Basically, again, you're going to be trimming off all that growth, 3 foot, 4 foot, 6 foot of twiny growth. You prune this back to the size of the tree, and it just develops a really nice, small, informal flowering tree.
And so you really could just contain the size of it to what you really want it to be every year.
Very much so. Containered plant, great tree for the containers too. It's
absolutely beautiful.
Very not looked, you know, for a containered tree, but it's an excellent one.
Well, you know, there's so many different kinds of varieties of them out there, and as you said before, all of yours are grafted, so they'll be blooming in no time at all, if not when they purchase them. If you have any other questions, I certainly invite you to take the very short drive from Portland up to the Woodland, Washington, beautiful Sagawa's nursery. Talk to Brian and his wonderful staff, and find some of the wisteria that will work just right in your yard for you. Thanks a lot, Brian.
Thanks, William.